start saying Jiminey Cricket's Corner.
When you get in trouble and you don't know right from wrong. When you get in trouble and you don't know right from wrong. When you get in trouble and you don't know right from wrong.
Bitch, how motherfucker dare you come on? When you get in trouble and you don't know right from wrong, give a little whistle. Hey guys, and welcome back to Jiminey Cricket's Corner, taking my own advice. A little show where I give some advice, guidance, and suggestions on how to get through some of the everyday problems that we face on a normal. Now, I want to start this episode off with a submission that I got from a user by the name of Linda T88. She says, with everything going on with the quarantine, sometimes it's hard for me to find things to keep me happy. What suggestions do you have to make sure that I don't get down in the dumps? So I guess it'll be fitting that we go ahead and dedicate this episode to happiness. So you guys, Linda T is right. With everything that's going on with, rioting and the election and weather and the quarantine and the pandemic, it's real easy to kind of go back into that sort of depressed state. Trust me, I understand. Sometimes you get in the house and if you're truly quarantining, it's just you in the four walls or whoever may be around you, family, friends, or maybe even pets. And sometimes it can get a little bit daunting. So I kind of understand how maybe sometimes it can get a little bit down and things of that nature. But I do believe that learning how to make yourself happy or keeping yourself happy is something that we should all learn how to do, or a quality that we should all have, even if the pandemic was not an actual thing. So I will first start off by saying, again, this is something that I struggle with a lot as well. And like I talked about on the last episode, a group of friends of mine, we actually have started something. We do some Bible plans in a Bible app that's done by YouVersion. So if you guys don't have it, go and get it. It's great. But one of the features that they offer is they have certain Bible plans that you can go and study depending on whatever the topic is that you may be going through or whatnot. You can do it with friends and all those things. And as a matter of fact, I may include the link to the app if you guys are interested in actually going to get it and kind of playing around with it. But one of the things that I've noticed while doing some of these plans is I'm having to learn, or I'm being challenged to learn to recognize when there are certain thoughts or certain things that kind of creep into my mind that could take me off of whatever the path it is that I'm trying to get to, or whatever the goal may be that I'm trying to reach. Because I believe that's pretty much the first step, is recognizing it. And then once you recognize it, taking the steps to make sure that you change it. So again, the first thing, or step one, again, like I said, is recognizing. And it's funny that I bring that up. This morning, again, for something, if you guys follow him or not, I actually follow Joel Osteen on Twitter. And so there is a process where they say our thoughts become our words is what we speak, and then we can speak it into existence. And it's funny because I saw a tweet from him this morning where he said, be careful what you speak, because those words that you speak, you can ultimately speak into existence. Be careful what thoughts run into your head as well. If you are in a place where, everything is kind of down and dreary, maybe the people around you are negative, maybe the imagery that you watch or listen to, music, books, TV, all of those things, that typically they tend to have an effect on our psyche as a whole. And you'd be surprised how the type of things that you expose yourself to, how ultimately that can become your mind frame. So I would say definitely, first off, learn to recognize those triggers. I know a lot of times, again, since we're talking about the quarantine, you can be in the house. Like I know a lot of times myself, I spend a lot of time inside the house, especially dealing with the quarantine and the pandemic. And a lot of times when you just sit here, just like you can't think of anything, and all kinds of negative things start flowing through your head, literally from out of nowhere. And you're wondering where these thoughts come from, or these negative opinions about people, or, the events that are happening around you. Again, it's all about recognizing those. They say that some people are a cup is half empty or a cup is half full type deal. And I think it's all about perspective. I know myself, there's a gray silver lining to every cloud. The good thing about being inside is I look at it like, well, hey, guess what? I don't know about you guys, but it's 90 degrees down here in Georgia, close to 100. And then we're dealing with a lot of humidity. So it even feels worse than that. Sometimes it feels like it's in the hundreds. So it's all about, hey, well, at least I'm not out in the heat and I have working air conditioning. So again, it's all about your perspective as opposed to, oh, I'm trapped in a house, I don't have anywhere to go, and all of those things. But it all starts off with your perspective. So in my opinion, once we've recognized wherever the problem stems from and we're able to recognize the source, then now that we've recognized the source, now it's about learning to replace that to bring forth the happiness. So for instance, I would suggest, Linda T, that you try to go ahead and think of the things that make you happy. Some of the things that even if you weren't getting paid for it, or, the things that just put a smile on your face. It doesn't necessarily have to be a particular person or a show or a type of music, but whatever it is that puts a smile on your face. If it's cooking, if it's good memories, a good place or a time in history or a good thought of a person or a event that may have taken place. Learn to have that go back to, reliable thing, if you will, that is ultimately going to take you to a happy place. So for me, for instance, I love music, all types of music, literally from rap to hip hop to R&B to pop to, I'm getting into bachata, country, heavy metal, rock, alternative, all of those things. And in my mind, music is such a great gateway to hearing and seeing things from other people's perspectives. And so with that being said, it kind of allows me to be able to take a trip away from whatever it is that's going on in my life. And especially if it's high tempo too, where I can get up and kind of dance and do something. To me, it really just helps me deal with whatever kind of problems I'm facing that day or that week. And I've noticed that that's my go-to happy thing that takes me back there. Learn that place, learn that object, learn that person, learn that event, because then you can easily go back and revert to it. And like I said, it doesn't have to be anything where you're getting rewarded. Your reward is that happiness and that joy. So you don't have to necessarily get paid or be receiving something or be advancing in any way. You'd be surprised what true joy and happiness can bring to you. I'm telling you, it'll change your life as a whole. I will also say, and I guess point 3, or the final point to all of this, we have to choose to be happy. There's always going to be another quote that I saw from Joel Osteen a couple of days ago. There's always going to be obstacles in your way, literally until the day that God calls you home. There's always going to be obstacles that's going to be placed in front of you, somebody that's trying to knock you off your track, just not having a good day, maybe things aren't working in your favor. Something's always going to go wrong. It reminds me of what my dad used to say. It's like we're either about to go through something, we're going through something, or we're coming out of something. So it's just one of those things where once you get in your mind that life is just going to be full of obstacles and drama and, flaws and things of that nature, it's then up to you to decide to take those things and find the happiness that you can find out of it. I know it's very cliche, but that whole phrase, take lemons and make lemonade, you guys, it's true. It's true. I look at myself as, the things that I have going on in my life, and the cards that I've been dealt. And when I tell you literally, people will come to me and be like, oh, your life is so, you're so great and so strong. And, I couldn't deal with what you're dealing with. But you guys, it's all about perspective. I look at other people's situation and go, wow, I couldn't deal with what a lot of other people deal with. And again, it just goes to show you, you never know what type of struggles people are dealing with behind the scenes. So again, try to change your perspective on life and people as a whole. In my mind, I just don't like to look at everything as being so down and dreary. Because there are so many things that are out here that really truly can help us, or, that we can leave a mark on other people or even on this world. that to me is, you know, even throughout all of this that's going on, like I said earlier, with the racism and the politics and the quarantine, the COVID-19, the just all of that as a whole, even with everything still going on, there still is some good out here. Me personally, I refuse to believe that everybody's bad. I just refuse to believe it. There's gotta be some good souls out here. I just know that there are. And I've run across a lot. So again, it's all about your perspective. All about your perspective. And for those of you guys who are religious, I think I may have mentioned this in a previous episode. I heard somebody say to me once before, and you know, to kind of go off of what Linda T88 said, or to kind of comment on what she said. The quote that I got was, every day life is born or brought into this world, it's a sign that God has not given up on humanity. You know, guys, it's a lot that's going on out here. Please don't let it defeat you. Do not. Do not. I'm a strong believer in, you know, hey, we can make it through this. We can. So I know that was pretty short, quick and to the point, but I thought it was going to be pretty, you know, not want to say easy to answer this question. I know this is something that I've dealt with before. But again, I think I've kind of gotten to the point in my age and in my life where I'm like, I'll be damned, I'm going to be happy. So yeah, hopefully you guys learned a little bit of something and I was able to kind of educate you guys or maybe help you or speak to your inner spirit. But just like Linda T88, if you guys have any questions or anything you want to talk about, or you just need a little bit of advice or suggestions, please don't mind reaching out. I don't mind talking about it. And as you can see, I'm very open and transparent about what I'm going through. And, you know, hopefully even my experiences with things can possibly help you guys out as well. So, but with all that being said, you guys take care and I'll be hollering at you later. Bye. Hey guys, this is Dominic, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in to some more of my content. But if you haven't done so already, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my Facebook page, Blind Justice. See you guys on the next go round.